It's Black Eyed Priestess. How's everyone doing? You brighten up my screen a little bit. All right, so I made a Corona cure and the upload cut off, so I got my phone charged decently. But I'm not quite in the mood for the Corona cure because it's got a lot of vinegar. Peace, everyone. Black Culture Week. How's everyone doing? So what I'm going to do today is make something that I am in the mood for. And I'm pretty excited about it because I just came up with this because I decided to make something because a friend of mine brought me some stuff and we had some shots of Roku gin by Caskers, I believe. Yes, some Santoro Roku gin. It's a very, very expensive, nice gin. And this gin actually has classic juniper notes, but also notes like peppery notes and green tea. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a green tea latte. And this is going to be a Botanical Gardens brew. So I'm going to do a Botanical Gardens brew with this matcha green tea powder, you know, Japanese green tea. Peace Precise. How's everything going? I heard you jamming the other day. Thanks for the tunes. Peace, everyone. So this is going to be a Botanical Gardens brew. So it's going to have, Japanese matcha, Japanese gin with notes of green tea and pepper. So I am going to add some black pepper to that. And I do have some filtered water. I'm just going to throw in a little bit more filtered water so I can kind of boil some of the other herbs I'm going to throw in. And I have some vanilla creamer that I will get in a minute. So let me go ahead and throw that on. And as you all know, one of my favorite ingredients, eucalyptus. So I'm going to throw some eucalyptus in there and let that start to boil. Give it a nice minty, camphor-y flavor, keep the cure going, and black pepper, and that'll also complement the peppery notes that the gin has. And with the gin, I'm gonna peace, AK. Yes, you did, Precise. This guy won't shut up. Rico, you want some attention? There's your audience, baby. You want to do the upload? This is my precious, precious, precious. He just wants attention. He wants to know what's keeping me from giving him all the attention in the world, because he gets all the attention in the world. Oh, he's so spoiled. Oh. What's your dog's name? Precious? All the attention in the world. Okay. So, Rico. Yeah. That's Rico. Actually, Seneca named him Green Bean. If y'all from Chicago know Seneca, black Chicago gardener. He's throwing a fit now. It's cute. So I'm just smelling it. It smells delicious. I'm gonna go ahead and start with my chalice. As you all know, I always like to garnish the chalice first. So I'm gonna put some of the gin in here. Take a shot of it myself, and I'm gonna throw on some fresh basil. And I will really quickly go over the healing properties, the witchcraft properties of the ingredients that I'm using. Basil is really good for exorcism and protection. Eucalyptus is also good for purification, healing, and protection. So I'm going to get these herbs. And again, it's called Botanical Gardens. So I'm going to throw that on there. And I also... These are some things I used in the Corona cure, but I got some herbs from Provence. And in here, we've got rosemary, garlic, lavender, thyme, parsley, tarragon, marjoram, basil, savory, sage, and chervil. So because I really just want a dash of this because of the lavender and Italian herbs. So I'm going to throw a little of that on there. And I'm going to garnish my chalice with some vanilla, but I'm just going to throw a little bit. I'm going to put some vanilla in here. Don't need too much because, again, the matcha is pretty sweet and the creamer that I'm using has vanilla. So I'm just going to put a little vanilla in there, and that will go well with the traditional juniper notes in the gin. So I've got some gin in here, some vanilla, and then I'm going to garnish my chalice with fresh ground cinnamon. Peace, everyone. A little more cinnamon, and cinnamon and vanilla is really good for sensual sexuality, for sexual purity and sexual fidelity, actually. So cinnamon is good too. You can rub cinnamon and vanilla on your chest to overcome disappointment, sexual dissatisfaction, a little heartache. You can rub that on your chest. You can sprinkle cinnamon. I'm going to put some pumpkin spice in here. You can also sprinkle cinnamon, a little cinnamon mixture on your sheets for married couples to spice up your sex life, to kind of, add some spice to the bedroom. So that's good for married couples. So pumpkin spice in here has cinnamon, ginger, lemon peel, nutmeg, cloves, and cardamom. So I'm going to put about 3 squirts of that in there, maybe 4, because I love the spice. Spice up the matcha a little bit, kind of give it like a chai flavor almost. And that's that. Got everything in there. And while the water is still going, I'm just going to quickly go over the ingredients that I used. And this is a Botanical Gardens brew. Just something nice for the morning, something to give me a little boost, a little health, a little feminine sensuality, since I'm going to be batching my Red Rose Velvet soap. And again, that's the one that the ladies love. It has a very feminine energy. It's heavy in the Oshun, which is the red clay, and it's also heavy in the Awo Oshun, the mysteries of my mother, my spiritual mother Oshun, goddess of love, sex, and beauty, sensuality, art, dance, all those things. The spirit of the river. And it is Monday too, so it's time to get back at it. Everything's boiling really nicely. And then the last thing I am going to just garnish it with some roses. So let's just go over what I have here. There's not pumpkin spice, but I will put allspice, which allspice is actually something that is not in here, but just for the sake of all the spice. Well, I guess I can go over the actual ones I've used, which basil, again, love, exorcism, wealth, flying in airplanes, protection, and sympathy. Basil is also good because after I do this, I'm going to go live on Facebook and do some live readings. So if you all want to catch me on Facebook on my Belladonna page, I'm going to be doing complimentary oracle readings for about a half an hour as I sip my stuff. All right, we've got cherry, love, divination, and victory. And cherry because there's cherry notes in the gin. There's cherry over notes with peppery notes of, green tea. Only have a little bit. I saved this gin. I only have a little bit left. It's going to go so good in this Botanical Gardens brew. Cinnamon, spirituality, success, healing, power, psychic power, protection, and love. Clove, protection, exorcism, love, and money. Coconut for water purification, protection, and chastity. I think my creamer is a coconut vanilla one. Eucalyptus, healing and protection, like I mentioned. Ginger, love, money, success, and power. Lavender, love, protection, sleep, chastity, longevity, purification, happiness, and peace. Nutmeg, luck, money, health, fidelity, and relief from nightmares. Pepper, protection and exorcism of negativity. Rose, love, psychic power, healing, love, divination, luck, and protection. And we're going to go to the vanilla, which deals with love, lust, mental powers. So again, and also tea, which is riches, courage, strength, and health. So green tea. And then rosemary, protection, love, lust, mental powers, exorcism, purification, healing, sleep, and youth. And so these, again, as you all have been, following me a lot, these are, I'm just going to add a little more water to it, and then I'm going to throw the matcha on. I'm going to turn the eye up. So again, a lot of these ingredients, particularly the main ones that I use a lot, cinnamon, vanilla, the spices, nutmeg, clove, allspice, as well as rose, honey, eucalyptus. Those main ingredients, those spices, with the eucalyptus and rose, the ones I use of purification for purification, divination, femininity, feminine principles. Those particular set of spices are really good for, enhancing my calmness and my sensitivity and my connection to my femininity, which is my source of psychic power. That's a principle of the oracle. Your sexuality is something preserved for the Most High to inseminate. And so our sexuality is where we receive our divine insights. And, so these spices that enhance your sexuality are, brews that I can use to, get me into that oracle mode of, receiving insights through my sexual wisdom or through my power center, which is, how the third eye connects to your womb. And that's that oracle insight, connecting your sexuality to your wisdom. And that's what we do. That's why it's true that oracles, are not supposed to have sex or could lose our power or our vision through having sex, especially with the wrong person, falling in love with someone who's not also at that masculine principle, which a masculine principle of an oracle would essentially be a monk, because an oracle is a nun. That's what a nun is. A nun has the highest form of feminine healing principles, which come from your sexuality. And that's sacred sexuality. Being able to heal with your sexual sensual energy. Monks also preserve their masculine sexual fortitude and use that for meditation and for manifestation, being able to fly, things like that. So the equivalent to an oracle would technically be a monk, because the oracle is essentially a nun or a Vesta virgin, which were the origins of the prostitute. And the Vestal virgins were in ancient Greek. They were the ones who stayed virgins, but their sex was preserved for. The Vestal virgins stayed virgins, but in the ancient tradition, the concept of a prostitute is that you have sex with an oracle and you are able to enter portals to other dimensions, other, fallen angel consciousness, other dimensions, other doctrines of, the spirit realm, things like that, or, high healing. So that's the origin of a prostitute, which starts with sacred sexuality, having a sexuality that is worth something beyond just marriage and procreation, a sexuality that is not for procreation but is for healing, and that's the concept of a virgin, not getting pregnant because your sexuality is you're a nurse, essentially a wet nurse in that sense. So at this time, I'm just going to take the matcha here, and I'm going to go ahead and dump it on there, and some gets stuck in the bottom, so I'm going to cut the top off, make sure I got it all out because it is powdery, and get the rest, open it up nice. Y'all can see. And stir it. Let it dissolve with the basil and eucalyptus that I have and the other herbs and lavender. All right. Get the Yeah, I was right. Coconut, almond, vanilla creamer. That's why I said coconut in there. And for nuts, we have fertility, prosperity, luck, and communication. So again, that fertility and communication. These things dealing with sacred femininity and psychic power. And that's the principles of the high priestess, something that I've been noticing, and like I said, I see a lot of people who are lost and are trying to get into spirituality who have no spiritual rights, who are just fans of magic or witchcraft or are interested in it, are dabbling in it, but have no actual authority to cross over and learn from the source and bring that back to humans. And so, I'm going to have a very low tolerance for copycats, for people calling themselves priestesses or high priestesses of this and that after encountering me. If you have done it in your own right, I'll probably share you, promote you if you're on that level. But, the low vibration, especially in Chicago, the lack of power, but the interest and the presumptuousness and the pretentiousness, I have no more tolerance for that. Ooh. You guys see that bubbling up? It's like bubbling up. Let me turn the eye back up. I like when it does that because it's, you have to, you basically steam the milk, essentially, but it bubbles up like that. So, back to what I was saying, I want to start talking more, and I've said this before, but sometimes when you actually live the lifestyle, you don't have so much time to share things with people, and a lot of the stuff shouldn't be just shared. And a lot of people are so hell-bent on getting notoriety for being in a position to teach and everything when there's a lot of people who do not really know anything about the craft, about the history, about the actual mysteries in it. And I'm getting a real low tolerance for that. And so I want to start talking about the things that I know, and so people understand what I do, why I call myself Black High Priestess, why that's the name of my brand, how I earned those rights, what it means to be an oracle, why I am an oracle. I do encourage people, women, Black women who are also, in mysticism to, get rid of some of these tools that open portals to demonic possession and start really embracing a connection to the Holy Spirit. But I I'm not going to take kindly to copycatting or pretentiousness and presumptuousness and competition. My middle name is Unique. So when someone comes and tries to compare themselves or relate or presume to be on a certain level with the mysteries, before me there were none, after me there will be no more. So what I want to see, especially Black people and Black women doing, is respecting each other for the differences and for what we bring to the table, instead of trying to be what each other has to offer and get all of the credit and glory. I'm not going to have any tolerance for that this year. I'm not going to have any tolerance for Black men who want to try to teach me certain things when I am here to elevate the race. And that means chastising, which is my name and my birthright, chastising the problems, the infection, the misogyny. I'm not going to have any tolerance for Black men trying to silence the truth that I'm bringing that will help Black women recognize the work that Black men have not allowed Black women to recognize through trying to put us under the thumb and control the narrative and blame us for the inferiority that the whole world sees that the Black man has, solely based on the way he treats the Black woman, and rejects the Black woman for white women based on being programmed. It should not have to be spoken that this is not all Black men. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. If a Black man is getting mad at these truths, then it applies to him. Simple as that. If you're getting mad at the truth, it means you're a problem. You're not a solution. You're not actively being a better Black man. You're not actively helping. There's no reason for you to get mad if it doesn't apply to you. I don't get mad when Black men complain about the valid things that they say about Black women, how Black women look, how Black women are ugly, how Black women don't embrace their natural beauty. I don't get mad at those things because it does not apply to me. Nor should a Black man get mad at the things that do not apply to him if they are true. And especially if you don't have to deal with it. Single Black women have to deal with the lack of eligibility and the fact that we have to date outside the race in order to find real men. Black men don't have to deal with that. The things that Black men have to deal with, you all have to deal with that, and you all voice that openly. And quite frankly, a lot of Black men don't have to deal with it because most of you don't deal with Black women at all anyway. And that's just the truth. So a lot of you only deal with Black women who you're related to or who you have to deal with. But you actively and openly do not deal with Black women. So you don't have these problems. I'm here talking to the people I relate to. So hopefully, I just want to, kind of set the standard that I'm in this mode. You will get cursed out if you, ask me questions, but be ready for who I am, what I am. I'm real. And if you when people get to the point where you're dealing with Black High Priestess, that means you're done with the sugarcoating, you're done with the lies, you're done with pretentious people, you're done with that superficial pseudo spiritual power, and you're ready for something real, and you're ready for the truth, and you're ready for someone who is genuinely connected and married to the spirits, not humanity. Because there's a lot of humans doing this that have no spirit helping them. There's a lot of humans doing this, or people of power doing that have demons helping them, because the demons are controlling their work and their craft. So again, check out my YouTubes, things like that. I'm just going to add a little more milk here since I add a little more water for the latte. Stir, stir, stir. And I usually would strain, but I'm not going to strain the base. Well, I will. I'll strain it. Trusty old strainer. Because I do have a lot of basil eucalyptus there. And let me just grab my rose garnishes real quick. And so, got my chalice here, got the strainer on there. Let me get some garnish. And actually, last thing, I'm actually gonna take some dried. I'm actually gonna take a dried white rose that I have, that I use for the moonbeam and black rose exorcism as well. So I'm gonna take these dried white roses and garnish, because white and green deals with the devas, the devas, the green Tara, the ancient Asian or modern Indian ancestral deities. And someone asked me a question on YouTube today, and I had to explain to them, you know, they were asking about Legba, but I could tell that they are not of the African Vodun bloodline, that they are of the Vedic. And I told them that they need to make altars to the blue Vedics. And that is dealing with the fact that the Vedics are blue and black. The Devas are green and white. So again, Japanese, this is going to the ancient Asian. Oriental is more when you're dealing with China, you know, modern China, Japanese, Mongolian. But Asian kind of deals with, you know, India and a little bit more toward the Middle Eastern, lower Asia, lower Orient part. So I'm going to stick with the white smell, and they still smell fresh. You can smell so fresh. So I'm going to get one more white petal. The white ones smell very fragrant. The white roses are very, very fragrant. Some roses have a little sweeter smell. Some ones have a little more fragrant, a little more peppery smell sometimes. So I'm just going to break the rose up a little bit to get some of that fragrance in there too. Put a little bit in there to release, a little bit in the chalice there. Botanical Gardens. And before I do this, I just show you what we're working with. So that's the latte there. Let's go ahead and do my best to not get it all over the place. I'm going to pour it in my pot first because it has a bigger mouth, and then that way I can pour it easier and strain it in the strainer. There we go. Ooh. And I can save this mixture too if I want to make another batch. I can just throw in the stuff that's in the strainer, the eucalyptus and stuff like that. And you can always use it as like plant food, you know, compost. Remember, I can't stress enough, waste not, want not. Witchcraft 101 or Witchcraft 000 is recycling. So always reuse things in whatever way you can to create, you know, something. I started making my soaps, you know, because I wanted to use, you know, some ingredients that I got, some powerful ingredients that I had, and I wanted to put them into a product that I can use that would be sustainable. You know, so now I have my brand and everything. So I'm going to put the white roses on top here, garnish. White rose garnish there. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to pour some of the gin in. Delicious. And I'm going to save the last for a shot. So cheers, you all. Delicious, delicious, delicious. I'm getting this guy over here. So we have our Botanical Brew, or Japanese, our Botanical Gardens Brew. So it's got some Japanese matcha, coconut, and almond creamer, coconut almond vanilla creamer, black pepper, eucalyptus, basil, lavender, some cinnamon, some pumpkin spice blend, which has cloves, cardamom, nutmeg, lemon peel. It's got some white roses garnish, some Roku gin by Caskers, some Santoro Roku gin by Caskers, a nice gin with notes of green tea, pepper, cherry and juniper, classic juniper, and honey. Gonna add some honey there. So this is the Botanical Gardens brew. Something nice and refreshing, something, feminine, spiritual, to open portals to, like I said, to meditation, to the Japanese ancestors, or I should say the ancient Asian ancestors. There we go. So I basically just kind of filled the rest with honey. It's a lot of honey there, but it'll do the trick. I'm going to go do some readings on Facebook. So again, if anyone has any questions, I have been receiving donations. So I appreciate the brothers who have been donating, who have been helping me out without asking for anything in return. But remember, anytime anyone makes a donation, I will offer you a product or a service. So if you all have any questions, let me know. And I'll see you in the next upload. Peace and love. Happy Monday.